Welcome back to Impartial Opinion, your host Tyric Williams. Before I continue with the episode, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe, and turn on your post notifications. Yeah, we need to start spreading this a bit more now. I need to start getting like numbers, even though I don't really care about numbers. Anyway, yes, I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. I know you'll miss me deep down, but our generation is full of arrogance and being cool and mysterious and nonchalant is part of the whole agenda now. So you won't admit it, but it's okay. I'll admit it that I missed being here and I missed like posting, I guess. I don't know. It's a lot has been happening, and let me just tell you. Look, first of all, I do apologize for the delay. Okay, I know you've been waiting for a very well, not very long time. It's only been 2 weeks. Let me explain. Okay, the first week it was like a little bit hectic. Okay, work was like overwhelming, and then it was just too much. And that shouldn't really be an excuse. There should always be time. Like all I need to do is take like an hour, but I won't lie, it doesn't. It's like it's very hard to like set up and everything. Anyways, no excuses, no excuses. We're here now, right? But the point is that first week of like missing out on like posting the episodes and stuff like that. Yeah, it was just there was just too much going on, and then I was ready to post something afterwards, and then I got sick. I caught the flu, so I just started like overdosing medication, throwing whatever I could at me as well. And then a lot of the things was like I was trying to organize some guests to come on, which I only asked like 2 or 3 people. Um, so some of them can come on. That's also another thing. I know this is not. I said to myself, this is not supposed to be a solo episode. The next episode was supposed to be a guest episode, but you'll know who you are. And I'm gonna be honest. This is impartial opinion, ladies and gentlemen. This is a show, okay? And I'm gonna be really truly honest. I'm kind of disappointed with those 2 people that I asked. The efforts that were in there was not there. Um, so yeah, I know there's a lot of people that are keen on being on the episode as well, but it's just a bit of a situation. Like it's there's a whole setup that needs to be happening first of all, because the people that want to be on the podcast that I know will put in the effort, that has to be like a whole full setup because it needs to be so proper, because I know they're gonna bring their best. Whereas with this one, the one person that I asked, it was supposed to just be something fun and witty and like, get an episode out there, entertain the people a little bit. There was the one where it was gonna be a very important episode that I was setting up for quite a while, and then it just didn't happen. I do feel like I'm helping a lot, but I had to explain myself a little bit. And then the sickness. Let me tell you something now. Give me a week, and the flu and we're fighting. We're fighting for like a week or so, and I'm just overdosing and everything, overdosing this. I won't lie though, it's like I don't know why I said he. But anyways, like this flu this time, I recovered from it, right? I got my energy back and everything. But what was weird about it is like it was still like holding on to me with some sort of weird chokehold. Like it was still like really bad, which I don't know, was kind of new to me. And no, it was not COVID, okay? I don't know if it's still there. And plus the season change, the sinuses are acting up, everything like that. The thing that I want to make here is that the immune system is strong as well. So yeah, I don't know. I was just battling the flu that week, and then there's this week. I think, if my math is right, I'm not too sure. Also, I kind of got a new setup. I don't know if you can kind of see. I did. I'm still in my room now. We'll get to today's topic also because it's quite an important one. I'm in my room. You can see there's the cupboard here and whatever, blah blah blah. But I'm just trying a whole new setup. I got like a screen there as well. I got the laptop connected to the TV, whatever thingy. I don't know. For me, it was kind of cool. I don't know why I didn't think of that. There's more space. I can. Oh, let's not. I can actually move. I can actually move like back and forth and all of those things like that. So it's just there's more space here. You can see my bed is like right next to me. So yeah, we still set up in the room when it comes to solo. That's the thing. I think people thought I was in some other massive studio as well. Why did people think I was in a massive like studio? Everybody's like, oh, I can't wait to shoot it at your place, bro. Like you have such a nice setup, bro. The setup is set up for one person. Plus, my room is like extremely boiling hot. Everything burns out. Yeah, I know you saw that. Everything like pretty much like gets overheated. Yeah, like I'm actually overheating, and if I put on that fan, it's not gonna work that well. Anyways, that is that was that was all everything actually. It's the delay, it's the not having that motivation to like push again, and then I got sick, and then the guest didn't work out, which is really disappointing. So yeah, next time I ask someone, I don't know at this point, I don't know because the whole point was not supposed to like this. This video was not supposed to happen like this. Okay, it was supposed to be a guest. So I won't lie, I am kind of bummed about that. I am kind of like disappointed in the people thinking that like this is not a sponsor, by the way. We don't have sponsors yet. I did speak to two people who have small businesses going. That's also yeah, that's news by the way. I did speak to two people who I would like to like add on to here. They also like kind of like local businesses and stuff. The one I can't promote because it's a barber, my barber now. I call him my barber now. But yeah, I won't promote him now because I'm waiting to do that. I want to promote him when he's like giving me the fresh cuts and stuff like that. So when the fade is in, that's one thing I'm always recording when the fade is not in. Anyways, um, yeah. So today's topic, the one impartial opinion that I wanted to like really get into today was this is the same. This is from the same week where I realized like how hard, not hard, but like where you just you've come into like a stance in your life where you're pushing like to live your life, but then at the same time you're pushing to like not run out of time. You know, it's that one's the quarter life crisis. Cutting that one out. Quarter life crisis. I don't know. Yeah, so it's the quarter life crisis or just figuring it out. So the thing is now, I'm at a stage now where like I think I mentioned it before, where there's there's young people that are saying that I'm getting too old because I'm 24 now. There's young people that are saying, "Hey, you're getting old. You know, you need to get your life together. How are you 24 and this and this and that?" And then there's old people who are like, "Oh, you're still young. You got so much to live for. Your life is vibrant and everything." We need to finally come to like a agreement of what is young, what is like actual middle age. Because I feel like people are becoming so like stuck in between that. And for the young people listening, if you're like 20 and below, honestly, you don't need to listen to this type of conversation because literally, like, you still have so much. Like, I don't want to sound like an old man or whatever the case may be, right? But like, when you're 20 and below, like, generally, like, this is like generally my opinion as well. You really don't have anything to worry about. I can tell you right now, if you're 20 and younger, you don't have anything to worry about. Like, you're still trying to figure out your life. And I understand that I'm also like, I'm 24, and there's a point where you can say that, like, I'm also trying to just figure out things, and I'm still young and I can still learn whatever. But like, times have changed and time is moving completely different. I mean, I mentioned it before how short life is, and what helped me realize that as well. So that's also just the thing. Like the quarter life crisis thing, especially when it comes to your career and stuff like that. You don't want to be stuck in one place your whole life. So like, okay, yeah, let's break it down like this. We're gonna break it down in topics. We're gonna break it down in the career aspect now, in terms of being in the quarter life crisis, right? So when it comes to your career, first of all, if you find a job that's you passionate about and that you're getting paid for good enough and all of that and it's going well, I suggest you stick to the job, especially when passion is involved. If passion is involved, I think there's nothing better you could ask for, because if you have passion for something, you instantly work harder onto it. Like, you don't need to put in, like, obviously you're gonna put in the effort and all of those things, but at the same time, you don't, like, it won't be like a chore. It won't be a job. It'll be part of your passion, and you'll be able to pay off a lot of things and blah blah blah. Blah. But like, in terms of the career aspect, there's a lot of people who don't want to get stuck in one thing and want to keep on building as quick as they can. But then at the same time, our job status in South Africa is very low. I would say low, yeah, which means the unemployment rate obviously is very high. So like, to move from one place to another and to actually make it, it's very difficult. So that's why, like, I did speak about it, like, a little bit in, I think, the impact of money episode. Um I did speak about that. So with that, like, it just, we need to really just focus on trying to do our best in the moment, because I realize when you start rushing things, everything starts to fall apart. And then there's a balance now, because we can rush things and then get to where we want to get to, or not even get to where we want to get to, because you can rush things and then everything can fall apart. But then also you can take your time, and then if you take your time and take too long, you're going to miss that opportunity, and then that part is also gone. So there has to be some sort of balance, and that's what I'm trying to get into, especially with the career parts of this conversation. Is like, how long do you wait? When do you take that opportunity? How do you know the opportunity is out there? And how do you know when to, like, make that jump? Well, I can tell you now, the one thing that I believe in, which I need to also focus on for myself, is um being comfortable with being uncomfortable. I know there's a better way to say it, but my brain couldn't comprehend that right now. But being comfortable without being comfortable with being uncomfortable. I think, like, taking that risk and taking those steps as well is very important, especially when you just have to learn to trust yourself at this point. Like, there's no one that's really gonna help us. There's no one that's really gonna, like, push us but ourselves, because at the end of the day, it's only us, believe it or not. Everybody else can say whatever they want. Everybody else can say what they need to say, and those things like that. But then at the same time, you need to know when to make that jump. You need to know when to take that, because it's becoming very difficult. Like, especially when I'm at 24, I'm really stuck. And I'll tell you, in one other aspects, I'm stuck as well. I have the notes here as well. I'm stuck in a lot of aspects where in the career is like, where do I go from here? Do I stay in where I stay in for the long run? Do I wait or be patient? I need to know when to take that step. It's a lot of, like, back and forth, and I think that's the thing that everybody's pretty much going through, whether you want to admit it or not. Even if you had a high end job or whatever, you know deep down, like, there's another step that you have to take, because the next best thing is to only, like, keep moving forward and keep moving up. You don't want to just be stagnant. And I think that's where I am now, is like, just being still almost. I'm trying to make some movement. That's why we got the podcast going and all of those stuff. But like I said, it's kind of tough. It is really, really tough. So I mean, with the being career thing, it's like I said, it's harder to keep moving forward, especially when, like, we're getting so held back by just the expectations of employees and employers and stuff like that. So yeah, what I'm trying to get to is just try and find that balance, because I know how hard it is, especially if you're from the ages of, like, maybe like 22 and up. Obviously, it differs for different people. Some people mature different. I think the younger people between 18 and, like, 21, I think they've matured even more over the years than we ever have. Because I'll be honest, like, how a 21-year old is now is not how I was. Let's be honest. Most of us, if you look at, like, your brother, your younger brother, younger sister, we were not even close to how they are now. And obviously, it's because of like things changing, economy changing, and stuff like that, and social media and blah blah blah. But yeah, those are the different things. The one thing that I wanted to speak about is also is so we got the career out the way. The relationships as well has changed a lot, especially as you get older. Now I'm gonna get also back into that one, but in terms of like relationships, it's like so many people are just way too focused on what they got going on, that like they don't make time. There's no like balance of time or anything like that. Like the way we're structuring things these days, like like I said, from 22 and up, I feel like we just like connected and disconnected. I also spoke about this, but I didn't go in full detail about this. But in terms of relationships and stuff like that, it's and then we go on to the pressure of the social media comparison. I think I did speak about this as well. But anyways, that pressure is like it's killing everybody. Like now I'm not gonna talk about like comparing yourself and everything like that. I think I spoke about that before. What I want to speak about something quickly, and I'm not gonna get too into it because I'm not a political type of gent or whatever. Like we might get into it one day and or something like that. The one thing that's really concerning me is you could see the division from the Charlie Kirk incident of how that's all I'm gonna say about that part also. But just think about how divided the internet was, and imagine like being a youngster, you open your phone, nah, and then you see all these videos, you see these people going back and forth, you see like um different like genders going at each other, like it's just become like so toxic, and you gotta wonder like what is actually going on in the world then, because then you wonder why we so stuck. You wonder why people can't make like decisive thoughts and be happy, just be happy with our life, not just like with social media. Like the one question that I'd like to ask you guys, and maybe you could answer this through the comments. If you're watching this, answer this through the comments now. I think I have two questions. What was the other one? I'll think of the other one throughout. But the number one question now is, what do you guys think would happen? Like, how do you think everybody would react if social media had to all just vanish tomorrow? Like with me, also, even with me, like I can also try and answer this question, and I don't know. But for you guys, what do you think would happen if social media all vanished tomorrow? Do you think people will panic? Um, do you think it's like is the economy gonna like slow down? What do you think will happen? It has to be a more detailed question though, right? Because then we're gonna talk about like if you're talking about just social media like Instagram and stuff, whatever, and then there's still like text messages and stuff like that, then that maybe could help. But then I'm just talking about like if everything just had to like just get wiped away. All of the communication apps, excuse me, like just everything. What do you guys think would happen? You can answer below in the comments. What I can tell you now is for me, I definitely do think we're gonna panic. Um, the way that people rely on social media, including me, which I am guilty of as well. I do try and cut down as much as I can, but I do get roped into the loop and whatever. I don't know why I think that like when I start watching movies on Netflix and stuff like that, it takes me away from social media in some ways. Because there's some really good movies out there, let's be honest. There's some really good, nice, like sometimes there's futuristic ones, there's like business movies, like the big shorts and stuff like that. I feel like those are good movies to watch, you know what I mean? To like get your mind away. Because I feel like the social media, like if you compare, I do think it is better actually. If I'm wrong, you can also comment below why I would be wrong. But I think that like for me, if I need like to watch something like that or need to keep myself distracted, I'd rather go watch a series or go watch a movie, like a really cool movie or like yeah one of the big movies and stuff like that, than rather just scroll through Instagram. Because if you think about it, that Charlie Kirk thing is nowhere on Netflix or anything like that. There's this from what I've seen, I haven't seen anything about it there. So for that, For that, I think that is the best option. Then rather like scrolling through, and scrolling through. So I don't know, but I think definitely if social media had to be shut down, it will be a massive panic. I think I don't know. It's a very interesting question. I think the whole world will like turn on its head because it seems like the world turns on its head for like almost everything. You know. So I just want to close these things here. The world turns on its head. Jesus. Amen. The world turns on its head like for almost any minor thing that happens. So yeah, with that social media thing, yeah, that will be a hectic one. Back to being stuck again. The whole thing of like everyone, it is gonna go back to the social media thing now again. Back to like with everyone just also just posting your lives away. I'm engaged at 24, I'm married and have a kid at like 23. First of all, everybody's path is different. There's no judgment there, okay? But this is for the people who feel like they are behind because of that. Now, when people post like that, a lot of people just want to share their their lives and like they're comfortable with it. And that's what, at this point for me personally, that's perfectly fine. Like oh, voice crack. Like before it was just like, why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? But then at the same time, like, who cares, man? Like, it's. I'm back to my n- no care zone. Like I just don't want to like judge anybody anymore. I just feel like people are doing whatever they want anyways, and it doesn't affect you in any way unless you make it affect you in any way. Unless you're insecure about yourself and where you are in life, then probably it will affect you. But at this point, nothing affects me anymore. Like if someone posts something, like it makes it easier not to judge anymore, and like it's not about not caring. It's just about less judgment, and that's why I made the show as well, so that people are able to just come on here and just talk and not feel judged. I have a lot of deep conversations with my friends and stuff like that, and they have different beliefs and different understandings, and then I have questions, and they never ever take offense to it because it's how you deliver it and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't want to get too much into that, but yeah, people posting all their success, all the trading people that are posting the high monies and stuff like that to get you hooked in. Everybody was posting that they're in a new house, that they got a new car, they're in a new relationship, they got a new baby, all of those things. I don't think it's very hard for someone for it to not affect someone, and I get that. But at the same time, we need to stop this, man. Like we need to start living our own lives and start building our own like families and stuff like that. There's people who just keep on thinking that they're better at each other because they do things differently. And it's such a vice versa thing. It's actually fun to like almost talk about because what I've seen now, I've seen it from both perspectives, right? Where there's people who are like, ah, this guy doesn't post on his status, doesn't have a profile picture, must be thinking he's so cool and so mysterious and so nonchalant. And then you get the other side where they're like, this person posts every single time, changes their profile picture all the time. They must be attention seeking and just wants all the attention. And I don't know why they post all the time. Like, what are we doing? Do you know what I mean? And that's just a small example of what are we doing? What are we doing? Guys, you know, that's gonna be my new catchphrase. I think I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna lock that one in. What are we doing? Because what are we doing? When it comes to like the judging and stuff like that, when someone wants to be left alone and you think they're just being a funny person, I don't know, that person maybe just wants to be left alone. Those type of things. I feel like it's just like it's small things that keep on adding up that disturb people that don't need to disturb them. How do I put that? I don't know. You know what I mean? That's also like one of the things that I wanted to one of the impartial opinions I wanted to talk about the judgment of like for other people. I don't know. It's just like we're not understanding each other. We're living in the same generation. We're pretty much going through the same thing. Um, not same thing. Obviously, everybody's lives are different, but you get what I'm saying. We're in the same era of like trying to make it in life, trying to do things that's best for us or best for them as well. So, I mean, as much as you like, you can talk behind people's backs and stuff like that, because you know we all do. There's always a story running around and stuff like that. I'm not saying we're all gonna be perfect and not ever talk about anybody and just leave everybody for who they are and whatever. There's gonna be judgment all the time, but yeah. At the same time, I'm just saying in a general aspect. You know what I mean? In a general aspect, if someone's acting out of character, you know, you'd rather reach out to them and ask them what's wrong than like just completely attack them. But yeah, that was one of my impartial opinions. There was another impartial opinion that I wanted to mention today. I'm going all over topic, by the way. I don't care. I don't care. You're gonna enjoy this episode. Oh, there's one. There's the one topic that I want to talk about. It's not actually even on my notes, is it? I don't know. Anyways, there's a thing now that I keep noticing about people these days, especially in this generation. Let's lock in now, okay? Let's lock in and listen carefully, okay? There's this new thing where, and I have them in my life, I have them in my family, whatever the case may be. We all have these people where they grew up with money, right? And then let's just say, I'm not saying I grew up in the hood and struggle and everything, but I didn't grow up rich, okay? But I don't know if I mentioned it also before. I might be repeating myself. Anyways, you wanted to see me. So now you see me. Anyways, moving on. There's this thing of like where people who grew up with money start to feel guilty because the people who never grew up with anything keep on complaining about how they had it and what's going on now. Let me just defend both sides quickly, just a little bit, not too long, because I'm in between. I'm like middle class now. So let's just defend it on both sides quickly. On the growing up rich side, first of all, you don't need to keep on explaining yourself and trying to fit in with the people who grew up harder than you. If you were a kid and and your parents were rich and you just grew up around money and you just grew up around that type of environment, you grew up in the burbs, you know nothing about hood, you don't even know what a gunshot sounds like, you know, you don't know you don't know like normal stuff, you know, beans and toast or whatever the beans and noodles or whatever broke meal. You don't know about broke meals. You don't know about broke bots and stuff like that. Let me just tell you something now. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? That doesn't make you less of a person. That doesn't make you less of anything. It's not your fault that your parents decided to work hard throughout their whole life so that you don't have the life that they probably did. Because maybe they went through the struggle and then they build their lives so that you all don't have to go through that. That's also the one thing. Like people who grew up with money, please do not feel bad for like not. I don't know how you're gonna take that. By the way, I don't know how you're gonna take that. So I hope you'll take that okay. Um, oh, never mind, 'cause, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, don't feel bad for like not growing up in an environment because I noticed like every time I'll talk about it because there was a time now. It sounds bad, but it wasn't really that bad. But for 4 years, for 3 or 4 years or so, I stayed at the back of my cousin's house. There was a little place there that they built, a small house cottage place. And then like for like 3 or 4 years, I slept on a sleeper couch, you know, with just blankets and a pillow. And I went to school like that and blah blah blah. Like it's not really a struggle thing, but I'm just saying like, can you see like that small thing? I would speak about that now, and then someone would have to like, who I know has never been through something like that, would have to try and relate and be like, yeah, sometimes we can't afford this, we can't afford. We don't have to like fight back and forth. And then same thing with like people who grow up hustling and stuff like that. you don't have to make them also feel bad. And I feel like I'm defending the rich people more. But anyways, I don't want to say rich people. I don't want to say privileged either. What do I say? Comment a word below. But for now, I'm just gonna say the growing up rich people, which is okay. Yeah. We also don't have to like shove it in their faces and stuff like that, because then people do feel bad that they like came privileged and that like they never worked for what they had and stuff like that. So um just that's why like we need to find a balance. But it is like the main problem is with the people who grow up rich, because like you guys just need to realize it's fine. Like you don't have to relate. You don't have to like um do all of these things to like try and accommodate or try and feel bad. Or and then my favorite partner is when I see a person who grew up rich now, when they try and like accommodate to like the person who grew up in the hustle. Like they try and like not insult them, try and not like oh can you afford it type of thing, whatever. They don't try and do any of that. But at the same time, like it's okay. There's just certain people who grew up a little bit rougher than you. It's not their fault that they were in the situation that they were in. It's not your fault that you're in the situation that you are in. So that's just one of the impartial opinion notes that I want to make, that I wanted to like mention as well, because I don't know, it's just it's unnecessary stress thingy as well. Um, pause. Okay, going on. So yeah, yeah. Going on to the next topic, there's one thing I can tell you now is with this friends thing. Ish, growing up, you lose a lot of people, and that's very normal. And it's very like it is what it is. You know, people fall off, people fall out, and stuff like that. Just the way things are happening right now, it's kind of like weird. I don't know. I reached out to a couple of people who I try to like not rekindle a friendship, but just like reach out like, hey, how you doing? Hope you're doing okay, blah blah blah. And like the energy is just completely off. You know, this whole thing of like people also not facing the reality as well. Like it's like people struggle to have such tough conversations, and that's why also why the podcast has been made. People are trying to like avoid tough conversations, so they rather just ghost. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm also a victim of that as well. I'm kind of guilty of that as well. The whole point was of this one year was that I tried to mention how friendships are now just naturally shifting, and like we need to learn to accept that, especially for the youngsters that are watching this as well. Because I know there's a couple of you guys that are still like in college and stuff like that, and in university, that are watching the show and have commented. You'll need to just know that the person next to you that's in your dorm right now might not be there in the next like 1 to 5 years even. And if they are, then that's great, because I still have friends from high school as well. That's going on to like almost 8 years, 10 years. I don't know how long is that, but it's long. So all I can say is that now for the youngsters out there, just I don't think I should put anything in your head. Actually, I don't feel like putting anything in your head. I'm just saying that like in the for future, just don't expect like lower your standards in terms of like your friendships and stuff like that. And that's what I've kind of been doing as well. You know, like especially when I see like people going out and then they're like I'm kind of like left out, which I'm not really ever left out, because most of the time I do like staying at home and saving money anyways. So plus so I'm trying to buy a new vape, so I'm kind of glad no one really asked me to go out for the past few weekends. So I'm trying to save up for that. Another story. Anyways, I went off topic there. Um, but yeah, like I don't know, just don't have high expectations. I think that's what you can learn from this podcast today, because we spoke about the quarter life crisis as well, which I think also refers to like you not having don't have like those full high expectations. I think just everybody must just be neutral and just keep we need to just keep living our lives the way we can, because At this point, everything's dropping, everything's falling, and then I just feel like everybody's just become so disconnected these days. I don't know. It's weird. Things are moving very weird, and I don't like it. I don't like how things are moving these days, especially like knowing with the social media stuff like that. Let me just check my notes. I don't think there's anything else that I can mention for you guys, but like, yeah, same thing with the fear of missing out. I don't really miss out on anything, to be honest with you. I like being more alone. I do like being out, but I like being more alone. But yeah, for those youngsters, lower your expectations in life, man. But aim for the stars as well. Go for it. I think I'm pretty much towards the end. What I wanted to say was ooh, I got a good question, and this question has been on my mind. We are at the end of the episode actually, because I don't shoot long episodes anymore. Well, not anymore. I just don't because I'm speaking by myself, and I'm sure you're tired of hearing me now. Because I'm tired of talking. Also, no, I'm joking. Anything for you guys. Um, there's one question. I need your come here, come here, come here, come here. Lock in now, okay? And think about this one. You have the whole weekend to think about this question, okay? Think about this question. If you knew you could never fail, what is it that you would do? What would you do if you knew you could never fail? That is the question I'm going to leave you all with today on Impartial Opinion. I'm going to repeat it again. Come here again. Come here again. Come closer. Listen and focus now. What would you do if you knew you could never fail? Think about it. If you could never fail at something, never ever, like you know that if you do this and if you go for it, you're never ever going to fail. Like it was certain, some sparkly genie said, it was certain that you're never going to fail if you pursue one thing, just one thing. What would it be? Give me your answers in the comments. Give me your answers in the DMs. Tell me. Tell me what it is because that's a very deep one. I can't even answer that. I need to think about that. Okay, I've been thinking about that question. If I knew I couldn't fail, what would I do? What would I pursue? Boy, yeah. Think about that one and get back to me. Please make sure you comment. Either comment your answers. If you don't want anyone to know about your answers, DM me. I'll keep it between us. That's what the show is about. So yeah, let me know. Tell me what it is that if you knew you couldn't fail, what would you pursue? It's that simple. It's really that simple. But it's not a simple answer, is it? So giving you that to think about throughout the week, ladies and gentlemen, it's been phenomenal actually. I actually enjoyed this episode. Um I think that's about it. There's nothing else here that I would like to mention or like to talk about. I think I spoke about everything. I am sorry for the delay. I'm going to try and be as consistent as possible. I'm hoping that like we get some guests on here now because it's about damn time. People, let's get this going. Let's get the podcast going. I'm gonna start creating some shorts again and reels again. So we'll be posting out throughout the week. So please just keep aware. Um, and let's focus on that as well. Um, so yeah, I think that's about it. I think thank you so much for watching. I really enjoy this one. I won't lie. Like I feel like the conversation was just flowing. I did take some pauses and stuff there. I got a new setup which I don't even really need. I won't even lie. But I'm thinking of doing reaction videos. Tell me how you feel about that. There's a new segment that I'm trying to do called it's gonna be called something. I'm not gonna reveal too much, but I'm thinking of doing a young podcast slash YouTube games type of thing. That's also supposed to be going with the whole idea of um the whole segments of impartial opinion. So the whole segment of social media and stuff like that. I might do reaction videos if you want. Oh yeah, if you want me to do reaction videos, anything that's fun, music video reactions, game reactions. If you want me to do a challenge of some sort, like no laugh challenge, which I want to do as well. Try not to laugh challenge as well, which is the same thing. Any of those, let me know if you would want to see that actually. Like generally, please let me know because I need to know so that I can actually start making the content. I was gonna make the content and you guys don't like it, and then we just don't like each other. You know what I mean? We gotta like each other because I like you guys, especially the ones that are commenting and sharing everything. You guys have been so supportive. So yeah, thank you so much for having patience with me today. Sorry that there's no guests. I'm hoping whenever the case may be, but we're taking our time with it. Um, there is a big episode that I'm willing to record with that guest. She knows who she is. There's only one she, and she knows who she is. So I think we're ready for that one at this point. At this point, we should just drop it. We should just drop it. So um, we're gonna work on that as well. I think that's about it. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching once again. Everybody, even like everybody's been supporting me. There's a lot of people out there, like all my friends and stuff like that. They're like, podcast boy, whatever, whatever, whatever. I love the energy. You guys like you bring up like really good energy. A lot of people be like, put me on that thing, put me on that thing, put me on that thing. I love that energy and like the fact that you're like being so supportive and so like behind my back with this and stuff like that. It's a nice journey that we're going to. This is episode 4, ladies and gentlemen. So I just want to say thank you. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Turn on those post notifications. Let's get this videos going. Let's start pushing more now. We're back now. I'm healthy. I'm feeling good. Let's keep going, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you guys for watching, and I hope I entertained you guys in well. I hope I entertained you guys well. So thank you so much for watching. See you guys next time. Episode 5 coming whenever. So yeah, thank you. Goodbye.